Hi, in this video lecture, we are going to see about small signal analysis of CE amplifier, that is fixed bias. So the objective of this video lecture is to understand what is a small signal operation and how to perform your small signal analysis of your fixed bias amplifier. So this is a curve, or this is a line which we know, because in your unit 1 you would have studied what is your DC load line. So this is the operating current where we fix up the point, okay, your operating point. So this is the IBQ and this is the VCQ. So whenever any input signal is being given, okay, from your AC excitation sources, so whenever we give any input signal, then those input signal is going to vary from this mean value. So IBQ will be the that is your reference line. So over that, for a positive cycle change in your input signal, your IBQ is slowly going to be smallly, it is going to rise up, and then in the negative cycle it is going to be dropped. Okay, so this variation produces your ICQ variation and your output voltage variations. So the notation we are going to use in the continuing lectures, okay, your DC biasing values are always given by your capital letter. So it is a capital letter with the subscript capital letter. So that is how we are going to denote the DC operating values. Then your AC instantaneous values, it is going to be given by, it is only the small values, because it is only the AC component we represent here with everything with the small letters. Then total instantaneous value. So instantaneous value is at a different time instant the voltage. So it is going to be represented with your small letter with the subscript being capital, because the instantaneous value, it is not only your AC, it also includes your DC, because over the DC operating point your AC variation. So that is my total instantaneous. So that is given as a small letter with your subscript being your capital, and the phasor values is given by a capital with the subscript being smaller. So at any time the instantaneous value is going to be DC plus AC component. So that is what being explained here as a small signal operation. By biasing, already we establish your DC voltages and current over which your signal is going to be riding, and this AC variation is going to be very small. So therefore we can do the AC analysis and DC analysis as a complete separate analysis. So DC analysis we have already done in your unit 1 as the term biasing, and then the AC analysis we are going to do up here. Okay, and we can use the superposition theorem to add up the effect of both DC and AC. That will give us your complete solution. So next we take up your CE amplifiers. I take up only the simplest biasing circuit, that is your fixed bias CE amplifier. So here we have used this coupling capacitors. So the coupling capacitors will block any DC component that is from your input source. From your input source, it will avoid any DC component being entering into your amplifier. So therefore the operating point is being preserved. So this is the coupling capacitors which will act like a short circuit for your AC variation. So now from this we have to first draw, the first step is we have to draw the AC equivalent circuit. So how to get the AC equivalent circuit, since DC is no more going to be taken into account. So therefore the DC sources can be connected to ground. So VCC will be replaced with a ground. And this coupling capacitors, they act as short circuit for your AC signal. So therefore these are replaced with the short circuit. So now you can see the VS. So it has been attached to your base as well as your RB. The other end of RB will be now connected to, instead of VCC, it is now connected to ground. So VS attached to base, the other one point goes to your RB and the other point of your RB goes to your ground. Similarly, at the collector side you can see that at the collector you have RC, the other end of RC is been now not to VCC, it will be now tied to the ground. So across and we measure the potential from your collector, so which is your V0. So this is your AC equivalent circuit. So now, so other than your transistor, we replace the other component as well. Okay, so as your next slide. So you can see here, I have just represented your RB and RC. So base terminal, collector terminal, emitter terminal, and instead of transistor, now I should insert your hybrid model. I prefer the hybrid model because your device data sheets will provide your hybrid model characteristics, but in your syllabus it is only the hybrid pipe model which we have to discuss. So that we will do it in the later sessions. So first we'll take up once as an example or as a practice, we'll take up first your hybrid model. You learn how to do the analysis, then you can keep on continuing with the other biasing methods. So I am going to replace the transistor with the hybrid model. So which is nothing but my HIE and then HFE-IB. So now this is my complete circuit for my analysis. Okay. So now what are all the small signal parameters we are interested to find? It is already given in your diagram. It is your Zi input impedance, then Z0 your output impedance. Then from your amplifier we need to calculate what is the voltage gain, what is the current gain provided by the amplifier. Okay, so these are all the 4 parameters which we are going to study. So first we are going to find out what is the input impedance. So the input impedance, you can see here, it is nothing but Vs by Is. Okay, that is the ratio of your Vs by Is is nothing but your Zi. So now you can see what is your Vs by Zs, sorry, Vs by Is. It is nothing but these two resistors are in parallel. So you can see that I1 current flows here, IB current flows. So that means that these two are in parallel. So my Zi is nothing but it is RB parallel HIE. So RB in parallel with HIE, and we know that RB is the biasing resistor. RB is very greater than HIE. Therefore your Zi is nothing but your Ri is equal to HIE. Since these two are in parallel, the equivalent impedance will be the lowest one. So HIE is the lowest, so therefore your Ri is equal to HIE. Next, your voltage gain. So voltage gain is given as output voltage by input voltage. So V0 by Vs. But what is V0? V0 is the drop across RC. How to measure the drop across RC? It is IC current that flows here but in the opposite direction. So it is minus IC. So what is IC as per this diagram? It is HFE-IB. Okay, so it is minus HFE-IB times RC will be equal to your V0. V0 will be equal to minus HFE-IB times RC. And Vs will be equal to, since these two are in parallel, the voltage drop will be the same. Either it is I1 into RB or IB into HIE. But I'll prefer IB into HIE because that will help me to eliminate this IB term. Okay, so we have written your V0 is equal to minus HFE-IB RC and Vs is equal to IB HIE. So therefore IB can be cancelled and your AV will be equal to minus HFE RC by HIE. Next, your current gain. So the current gain A is given by I0 by Is. Okay, I0 is nothing but your IC, which is HFE-IB, and your Is is nothing but it is I1 plus IB. Okay, and out of that we know that RB is a very large value, so therefore I1 will be negligible. So Is I can write it is equal to your IB. So Is is equal to IB since RB is very greater than HIE. So therefore AI is equal to HFE-IB by IB, which is HFE. Next, output impedance. To compute your output impedance, it is like your Thevenin's equivalent procedure. So we have to remove your load resistor, and if there is any voltage source available, then that should be made as a short circuit. Okay, since here we use the voltage source as a signal source, here Vs, we will set your Vs is equal to 0 and RC acts as your load resistor, so therefore we remove this load resistor RC. So when we remove this, when we make Vs is equal to 0, your Is will be equal to 0 or your IB will be equal to 0. When IB is equal to 0, HFE-IB, that is your collector current, will also be 0. When a 0 current appear in a circuit, so when the impedance is infinite, so therefore your R0 is infinite. but externally we use only your load resistor RL. So if you include this external load resistor RC, then your R0 will be equal to RC, because that is the only impedance seen from your output port. Next, similarly we try to carry out the same analysis using your hybrid pi model. So hybrid pi model, instead of HIE I have replaced with R pi, and the current source is given as GMV pi, and R0 is the impedance which is been included. Okay. So first parameter which we are interested to find out is Zi. So Zi is nothing but the input impedance Ri, which is equal to RB parallel R pi. Since R pi is going to be very small compared to your RB, so therefore your Ri will be equal to R pi. Okay, your input impedance is nothing but R pi. Next, voltage gain. Voltage gain is given as output impedance by voltage gain is given as output voltage by input voltage. So V0 by Vs. So V0 will be equal to, here it is this current and these two resistors are in parallel. Okay, so that is my V0. So it is minus GMV pi R0 parallel RC. And again here if you compare, R0 is going to be very larger compared to RC. So therefore we can write this as minus GMV pi RC. Okay, and your Vs is equal to, again the same, it is I1 into RB, then IB into R pi. Okay, so we'll take IB into R pi, which is very convenient for us. So IB into R pi is nothing but V pi, so therefore we can eliminate the V pi term here. So your VAV is given as minus GMV pi R0 parallel RC divided by V pi. So V pi will get cancelled. It is minus GM into R0 parallel RC. If R0 is going to be very greater than RC, then it is minus GM RC. Next, output impedance. So to calculate your output impedance, we make your Vs is equal to 0 and load resistor is removed. When Vs is 0, V pi is 0, IB is equal to 0. So once your V pi is equal to 0, your current source GMV pi becomes open circuited. So therefore from the output terminal, if you see the impedance, you can find it's only R0. So it is your R0, but when we include your RC bias resistance also into account, then it becomes R0 parallel RC. Next, current gain. Current gain is given as A is equal to I0 by Is. I0 is nothing but your IC, which is GMV pi. So V pi can be written as it is IB into R pi. And your Is is nothing but I1 plus IB. Since your RB is going to be, bias resistor is going to be very larger than your input impedance R pi, your Is is equal to IB. So AI will be equal to I0 by Is, which is nothing but GM R pi. Next, we'll do the summary. So in case of your fixed bias, the voltage gain is proportional to RC. Whether it is your hybrid model or hybrid pi model, you can see that the voltage gain is directly proportional to your RC. So by increasing RC, we cannot have a very large gain, because increasing RC will make your transistor to operate closer to cutoff. Okay. So though your gain depends on your RC value, we have to make it optimized so that at the suitable active region, you can have the maximum gain. Then the input impedance is equal to either HIE or R pi, which is very small, because HIE of your CE amplifier will be around 1.2 to 1.5 K. So therefore the input impedance is very low. Okay, and these are all the characteristics information we can have it in mind. And these two are the textbooks which I have referred for this presentation. Okay. Thank you.